characters you are playing in Goldoni to attributes and feature of stock characters from earlier Commedia Dell'arte and Roman comedy. In this blog, I'm going to focus on the stock characters which have developed from our acting pieces. I achieved this through improvisation and direction. I will explain how they relate with Commedia Dell'arte and Roman comedy and Goldoni's stock characters. A stock character is a stereotype. Stock characters evolve around their personality, a manner of speech, and other characteristics. I understand that a stock character is related to a fictional archetype. However, they are carefully defined. In Commedia, comedy productions, and even in today's modern sitcoms, stock characters are so important to provide relationships and interactions with other characters. They allow for typical scenarios to evolve that the audiences can easily relate to and are familiar with. This enables a set of genres to develop that the audience will recognise immediately. This allows the audience to have a simple viewing of the play, what could be described in today's world as a easy read. Stock characters make easy targets for satire, and stock characters, familiar to the audience, can guarantee laughter. This example that I have explained is similar to what my group have attempted to achieve in our piece, following and keeping to the traditional Commedia performance. In our Commedia performance, it is obvious that we have included the stereotypical Commedia dell'arte stock characters. However, our aim was to make our piece more relevant and modern for the audience. To do this, we adapted traditional characters and laid them with a modern stereotype. For example, in this case, a gold-digging wife, a drunken wife, or an aristocrat, or a spoilt brat. When we were beginning to research the historical background of Commedia Dell'arte, I came across a very appropriate statement, which I feel relates to what we are trying to achieve. Barry Grantham states that in recent years, students and actors have used the shortened form Commedia to define a way of performing, inspired by the historical Commedia Dell'arte, but not necessarily using traditional characters or scenarios. This is exactly what our group was trying to achieve. We have attempted and made the effort to keep the role of the traditional characters, however, adapting it to a modern day scenario for the audience to recognise and sympathise with. This makes it more interesting and enjoyable for the audience to watch and keep their attention. Commedia Dell'arte began devising with 4 main stock characters. The first became known as the Magnificent Ones and the Slaves. He then developed their names, bringing the characters to life. They became known as Zanni, Docteur, and Alghino. In 1697, stock characters seen in early plays were adapted and based to develop new plays by the other authors. These plays varied from novelty or everyday actions within a play. This is still visible and what we experience in our televisions today. It is the use of these characters that aid and develop their sense of satire which the writer wants to achieve. Plautus, one of the Roman comedy's finest playwrights, he too had a range of characters which he created through various techniques. Similar to Dell'arte, he was famous for his stock characters and situations in a few of his plays too. As Walter Juniper wrote, everything including artistic characterization and consistency of characterizations was sacrificed in humour, and character portrayal remained only where it was necessary for the success of the plot and humour to have a persona who stayed in character, and where the persona, by his portrayal, contributed to humour. I agree with this statement from Juniper. In our devising presentation, we have all rehearsed and We have all rehearsed hard to sustain heightened characterization, keeping engaged to keep their practice energized and heightened, making it enjoyable for the audience. Commedia Dell'arte is a comedy of professionals. It is a knockabout style and pantomime involved from carnivals of southern Italy. The stock characters used would be recognizable with their human flaws and shortcomings, providing bedrock and dramatic conflict. The audience could enjoy the theatre as they could predict scenarios from the characters. The main reason we decided to keep close to the traditional characters was for this reason. It is evident that comic stock characters are successful in theatre. Because we are devising the storylines, the scenarios become easier to write due to the stereotypical characters in our piece. Commedia was a highly stylized theatre, strong on mime, with the actors wearing half masks, like this. This would be described as your classic Dell'arte theatre. Yet, even though we have not undertaken the half-wearing masks, and not included mime, I feel that as a group we have included vast amounts of other similarities of Commedia Dell'arte's characters, which are visible in our piece. In our devised comedy piece, we decided to stay close to the comedian structure and stock characters with a contemporary storyline. In our piece, it is evident that a few characters have been structured and devised in order to be represented as Commedia and Roman comedy stock characters. So how are Goldoni's and Commedia Dell'arte stock characters relevant to our piece? The unique talent of Commedia players was to improve comedy around a pre-established scenario, responding to each other or to the audience's reaction. The actors made use of l'arte to vary the happenings on stage. Okay, so then rather than performing an improvised scene, we have had the comfort of having about 2 weeks to devise our own. We too included l'arte into our performance as Commedia Dell'arte did. This allows to gain that heightened performance in which we wanted to achieve. We too included this commedia technique in our piece. For example, the repeated jokes from the characters pretending to cry over the dead body in a mournful manner. However, each character really crying for their own selfish reason, unrelated to the death of Sir William Richardson. Commedia characters included certain techniques in their performance, such as breaking the fourth wall. This is vital to any commedia performance. Tony Allen says the actor and the audience have a contract. The actors play a role to the audience so they can suspend their disbelief and agree to be transported to the time and place and watch the action through the fourth wall. The characters breaking through the fourth wall was crucial. We have used this technique in our performance. I have learnt that it ensures the audience to be spoken to, conferred with and confided in. And more importantly, their responses are acknowledged, needed for Commedia and Roman comedy. Thank you.